Should you wear boots in the summer? Can you wear boots in the summer? Yes, you absolutely can, and that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. So there are three main reasons why you should do this. Number one has to do with style. Of course, boots are awesome, very stylish. Number two has to do with comfort. Usually boots are very comfortable. But number three also has to do with utility. And when I say utility, we typically think about how, if we're going to be wearing a pair of boots in the winter, such as these Thursday Captains, this is going to be great if it's super cold, if it's snowy, if it's rainy, if it's wet. These boots are going to be great just because they're so hardy and so hard. They're just so hard wearing. In the summertime, if you want a nice casual shoe, you might want to pick something like this, the Cole Haan Original Grand. Medium brown on top. This is I always get it wrong. This is the Woodbury color, and this is the Ivory sole. A great casual shoe, super comfortable, especially if you're walking for a long time. Wear these for long walks, right? If you are going to a wedding in the summertime and you want to look your absolute best wearing a suit, that's where you'd want to wear a dress shoe, an actual dress shoe, not a hybrid dress shoe, an actual dress shoe, right? You get what I'm saying when it comes to utility. So the utility for wearing a pair of boots like this, the Edmonds Dalton dress boot, that's what we're talking about today, dress boots in particular, the utility is going to be that you want something that is a lot nicer than that hybrid shoe we just showed you, right? You want something a lot nicer than the hybrid shoe, but you also want something, I should have put these shoes all in front of me. You want something that's a lot more comfortable than these. And that's really where the dress boot, these in particular, end up falling in. They're right in the middle. So when it comes to boots in the summertime, like I said, you can do whatever you want, but you really want to make sure that you choose a boot that is going to be breathable enough. Now, one example of a boot that's not going to be breathable is going to be this Thursday Captain. This thing is great, like we were just talking about before. This thing is great when it gets super cold outside, but when the temperatures go north about 60 degrees Fahrenheit, the boot just gets too hot for me. That is where I would encourage you to look more towards the dress boots and some sort of a calfskin leather. Now, not Chrome XL leather, not hard-wearing, super rugged boots. Those are probably going to be too hot. Calfskin leather, dress shoe leather, right? This is made out of the exact same leather as this shoe. These are both Edmonds, in case you haven't noticed. This is their McAllister Wingtip Oxford, a great shoe. This is their now sadly discontinued Dalton Wingtip dress boot, another great shoe, and a shoe that I've had for a long time and I'm going to keep for as long as I can, right? So you just want to make sure that the boot ends up being super breathable. Another nice thing is going to be a leather sole is going to be more breathable than a rubber sole typically. However, leather soles really aren't going to be as great. If it rains, you pretty much can only wear them on a dry day, which I think is just a total waste. It's too much to think about. Do yourself a favor and you can just get a nice stick-on rubber outsole from Amazon. These will be linked below, super easy to do. And then you could just add crazy glue around there. Now, another boot that I haven't been wearing a lot this summer, but you could definitely do it, is the Edmonds Landon cap toe boot. This, again, is going to be made out of that calfskin leather, so it is going to be just as breathable as the Daltons that I just showed you. I think these are discontinued as well. These do have that day-night rubber outsole, and which just means that it's not going to breathe as well as it would if it was a leather sole. However, you're going to get a lot more wear out of the day-night sole, and it's just going to be better if it rains, and more of an all-season boot, not just a nice warm weather boot with a leather sole. So I want to show you what I mean when I say they are kind of like that perfect in-between when it comes to style and comfort. Dress shoes, nice proper dress shoes, you're going to want to get something like this, the Edmonds McAllister. Super, I don't know, I say super all the time. These things are nice, very dressy, very classic. You can dress them up all the way to a suit. They're always going to make you look amazing. Now, what happens if you need to walk a long time, or maybe these just kill your feet? Because these are not as comfortable as they could be. They're good for what they are, But for me, sometimes they're just uncomfortable over here. They cut into my foot over here. So I would end up choosing something like a Cole Haan original Grand in a very similar color with that darker colored outsole, right? The problem with this solution is it's way too casual and it's never going to really fully replace a dress shoe. And this is where the dress boot comes in. We're not wearing this dress boot because it's a boot and boots are awesome, because honestly they are. We're wearing it because we want the comfort of the hybrid shoe, but we want the formality level and the classic timelessness, classic timeless style of the actual dress shoe. That is where these shoes fall right in the middle, and they're the perfect in between. Now, I've worn these shoes a couple of times with my business casual, smart casual attire, which is basically just a polo, khaki chinos, and a variation of a blue sport coat. And I've got to say, they are pretty good. They do get pretty hot just because having that enclosure around your ankles, it's not as breathable as it could be, but I mean, duh, it's a boot. Of course, if you cover more of your ankle in leather, it is going to be a lot warmer and a little bit less comfortable than wearing a low-cut pair of shoes like this. But you know what I don't get with these? I don't get any sort of pinching around my toes. I don't get any pain on top of my foot and on the sides of my foot, the ball of my ankle right there. Overall, all good. So if I could only have one pair of dressier shoes, but I really wanted to make sure that that was a good, comfortable shoe that I could walk 5 or 10 miles. I've walked 10 miles in these before, believe it or not. Can't say the same for these. I would definitely go with the dress boot. When you're wearing a nice fitted pair of chinos, or even with like a nice fitted pair of suit pants, or what am I trying to say? When you're wearing a nice slim fit suit, you're not really going to be able to tell the difference. And even if people do see you wearing boots, they're probably going to be like, oh, pretty cool, you're wearing boots, even in the summer. They might ask you, oh, is that okay if you're wearing, how is it in the summer? Is it too hot? It's a conversation starter. Now, we're not going to talk about this pair of shoes too much, but if this is your only nicer dress shoe, what I would invest in also is something like an all black Cole Haan original Grand, just because even when we compare the brown original Grand hybrid shoe to the all black hybrid shoe, the all black hybrid shoe can definitely start to stand in and mimic 95% of what an all black dress shoe would be. And if you're someone like me that you barely wear black shoes anyway, save your money. You don't need to spend another couple of $100 on a nicer pair of all black Allen Edmonds Park Avenues or all black whatever. Any pair of Allen Edmonds is going to be like $300 to $400. These things I got on Amazon for $80. $80, that's 80. So definitely just check Amazon. You could probably find them for close to $100. And bonuses, they're going to be a lot more comfortable, more resilient to the rain. Just a better solution overall. All right, so check it out. I've got on a navy blue collars and polo shirt, a nice mid blue, navy blue textured linen sport coat from Suit Supply, nice pair of khaki colored chinos from Banana Republic, Anson belt in mid brown, and on the bottom we've got our Allen Edmonds Dalton wingtip dress boots. So you can see what I mean by where if you actually wear dress boots instead of dress shoes, no one's gonna really notice a difference, and it actually is still gonna look really amazing. And when we compare something like the Allen Edmonds McAllister to the Allen Edmonds Dalton, the Dalton hands down is going to be the more comfortable shoe, hands down. Like I said before, I've walked 10 miles in these before these exact shoes. It was years ago, back when I used to work in Manhattan and walk around all over the place. These are super comfortable. They are a little bit narrow, but because they're boots, you can get a nice enclosure around your ankle. So definitely give it a shot. If you are tired of wearing dress shoes all the time that just absolutely kill your feet, but you don't want to resort to something like a Cole Haan Original Grand or another type of hybrid shoe, hybrid dress boot, whatever they're calling them nowadays, they're not real dress shoes. And I get it, because they can't recreate that timeless style or aesthetic that a real dress shoe can. I highly encourage you to try out a pair of dress boots. Now, the two dress boots that I showed you in this video, the Allen Edmonds Dalton wingtip dress boot that I'm wearing and the Allen Edmonds Landon cap toe, they have both been discontinued. So what I would do if I was in the market for dress boots right now, I would take a look at the Thursday wingtip dress boot. That's going to run you about $250. I'll put the price up on the screen with the picture of the boot. And I would say that because they're dress boots, the leather is probably going to be a little bit more dressy, more of that calfskin leather, not their regular Chrome Excel leather, which just means that the leather is more than likely going to breathe a little bit better. And if I can find it in the budget, and if you want to see it, definitely let me know down in the comments. I will get a pair of those, probably just buy them myself so I can do an unbiased review, and we'll see how they actually fare for a pair of summertime dress shoes that are just going to be a lot more comfortable, and they just happen to be boots. As always, thanks for watching.